but is it really true that giving someone the right kind of food can help to improve their mood?
Well, last time we saw fitness professional Bernadette Abraham, who was trying to convince Tom that fruit juices can be unhealthy. Now she's back for another go with her mood-enhancing foods. Bernadette, welcome to the show.
Thank you
so much for coming on again.
Thanks, and I did convince him.
Did you?
I must admit, I was swayed by
Okay,
that.
you have a lot to convince us tonight. This is about, of course, mood-enhancing food.
Yes.
Now, of course, I've heard of the expression that you are what you eat. So if we are cranky, tired, clinically depressed, does it mean it's time to change our diet pattern?
Well, think about when you're in those moods, what do we turn to? We turn to high sugar, high fat foods. And there's a
Chocolates?
reason for that, right? There's a reason why we turn to chocolate and things like ice cream. It's because carbohydrates release serotonin, which is a brain chemical. It's a neurotransmitter that makes you feel good. It affects appetite, desire, mood, movement. So that's how your mood gets enhanced, by choosing foods that actually help increase serotonin. So you want to avoid foods that are high in sugar, that are refined, that will raise your blood sugar levels. And you want to try and substitute it with foods that are higher in fiber, that are natural, slow-release carbohydrates like oats, brown rice, barley.
Before we get on to the good stuff,
Yeah.
Bernadette, let's talk more about the bad
Bad
stuff.
stuff.
I don't know, I feel more natural talking about the bad stuff. But just give me some sort of practical, some names of foods that will bring me down or bring somebody down.
What's your favorite sugary food? Sodas,
Cheerios?
juices, sure. High refined, high in sugar cereals,
Really?
absolutely, yeah. Chocolates, you know, all those, anything that's really high in sugar that will spike the blood sugar level will affect your mood. Now, it might give you instant gratification, but on the long run, it will affect your health by causing adrenal exhaustion. So it'll actually cause your body more stress. And stress is self-perpetuating. It'll bring on more stress.
Okay.
Right, Bernadette, what about comfort food? I mean, that is something a lot of us tend to turn to. Is that any good?
Well, like I said, you want to try and avoid those foods because although it gives you instant gratification, it's going to lead to problems on the long run. It'll actually make you feel worse on the long run.
Okay.
So here we have some examples of good stuff that would actually help enhance your mood because it maintains your blood sugar level and will provide you with energy all day long.
Now this is going to come as good news to Tom over in the kitchen because he's doing his mackerel, his nice oily fish.
Perfect.
But
Perfect.
Salmon.
So omega-3, okay, there's a lot of research about the essential fat omega-3 that it helps boost brain benefits and it helps mental capacity. So also helps enhance mood. There's a study actually that was done, it's pretty funny, with rats. These poor rats were put in a tank filled with water and they were made to the point where they have to swim. And after some time they gave up and they realized, well, I can't swim, I'm going to give up. And they just began to float. And they realized that they surrendered to depression. And so they gave them antidepressants and they began to swim again. So they did the same thing, the same experiment, except they gave them omega-3 fats, fatty acids, and they began to swim again. So they had the same result with food. So absolutely omega-3, oily fish like salmon and tuna. You can also find it in walnuts and almonds, ground flax seeds. Those are all sources of omega-3 fatty acids.
Okay.
Now there are other nutrients that you can take a look at. A lot of studies have shown that vitamin B and vitamin B12 and folate specifically has been shown that if your bodies are low in those vitamins, that there can be a higher risk of depression. So foods such as, for folate, such as, you know, beets, broccoli,
So this is beetroot,
lentils, those are beets.
yeah? In its natural form.
Exactly.
What about
you
if I
could
had it in a
steam
jar?
them. Best, always in the natural form is best.
Okay.
Okay. Lentils, black-eyed peas, that's all sources of folate.
Brilliant band.
And then the B12, I'm sorry?
Brilliant band. So if you listen to the Black Eyed Peas, does that boost you? Must do.
And
Now,
then,
Bernadette, is too much of any of these bad for you? Does it have a negative side to it?
the bottom line is if you eat the foods that we were intended to eat, and you avoid man-made foods, foods that have additives and colorings, and you eat these foods that nature intended for us to eat, then not only will you enhance your mood, you'll enhance your overall health and outlook and well-being.
One thing that I want to pick up on, because I'm interested to see dairy on the table, because a lot of people are sort of anti-dairy and it has this sort of, you know, grey area around it. What's your take on dairy?
Okay, well again, it falls under the category of vitamin D. A lot of research has been shown that low levels of vitamin D can also be linked to depression. So that's one source of getting vitamin D. The best way is also to get safe sun exposure. That is really the best way to get your vitamin D intake.
And what about people who start their day with a tea or coffee?
Tea also, herbal teas can have some beneficial properties that can help reduce stress. I think it's also the warm, you know, the warm beverage that can also help calm you. So it can also help enhance your mood that way.
So the message coming through from you this evening is, in order to boost and enhance that mood, you go for these slow burners. So fishes, red meats, pulses, fresh vegetables or raw vegetables?
Yep. Yeah, if you can get some raw in your diet, absolutely.
Yeah, and then finally, as you say, the dairy in moderation to a certain degree.
Right, and eggs as well. The egg yolk has B12, it's good B12 and...
I don't see any fruit on the table.
Ah.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, fruits
actually.
are, they do have, well, we're talking about foods, specific foods that are known most to enhance your mood.
Yeah.
Fruits and
Is banana good for that? It's my favorite.
Yeah, absolutely. They all have beneficial properties for you, just in moderation.
Good stuff.
Right,
Bernadette.
Every day.
So this week we've done food enhancers. Next week we do oysters and caviar, okay? Good stuff. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Stick around for some mood-enhancing food from Tom a little later on. Get ready if you took part in tonight's competition, because we're about to reveal the winner of